I, a teen male, have lived with my current foster parents since I was a tween, but I've been in foster care since I was a young grammar schooler. I will call my foster parents Henry and Erin. I got a new phone as an early Christmas present from my biological dad. It's an iPhone 16 Pro Max, which is the phone I wanted, so I'm very happy about it. My previous phone was an iPhone 11 bought by Henry and Erin. On my old phone, Henry and Erin had set up loads of parental controls on it, so I couldn't download any apps without them approving it. I couldn't turn off share my location, I couldn't change my passcode, it would lock everything except their contacts at 8 p.m. every night until after school, and they had a limit on YouTube so I could only watch it for 30 minutes within the time where my phone was unlocked anyway. I could only go on websites that they approved of, like there was a list that I could go on, and I couldn't go on anything that they didn't manually add to that list. These all annoyed me, but whenever I asked them to be turned off, they told me that they bought the phone, so these were the rules. Now I was given my new phone by my dad on Monday, and I haven't used it yet because they're telling me that I have to let them put the same restrictions on the new phone as they did on my old phone. I said no, because that isn't fair. I should be allowed to use my phone, as my dad says, because he paid for it. I told them that my dad paid for the phone, so it was his choice, and that he didn't want me to have those restrictions. But now they've said it doesn't matter who bought the phone, even though that was their whole point before. Now they're saying that because I'm living with them, I must follow their rules, and the rule for having a phone in this house is that they put restrictions on it. I don't think that's fair at all, considering they didn't buy the phone. I don't see how they can do this. Before I got home from school on Monday, they took the phone out of the box my dad sent it in and set up all the restrictions, and now I'm trying to figure out a way to take them off. I'm thinking about complaining to my social worker because it's unfair that they put these restrictions on my phone, even though they didn't pay for it. Am I the idiot? You are the idiot. This has nothing to do with who buys the phone, it has everything to do with who is responsible for you. You're not an adult yet, and your foster parents are right to set limits. It's their role. The "my bio dad should be the one to set the rules since he bought it" argument isn't going to fly, I'm afraid. He isn't your legal guardian, and hasn't been for almost a decade. To lose custody of someone who's a young grammar schooler, and for it to remain that way for nearly a decade, is a sign that the courts and the child welfare system don't see him as capable of making decisions like that. I would say that the idiot in this scenario is your bio dad. Your foster parents are your guardians, and they are responsible for your safety and well-being. If he has an issue with the rules they impose on you, he must take it up with them. It's not fair to put you in the middle like that. Exactly. OP, your biological father, for lack of a better term, is throwing in a grenade. He may be doing this for a few reasons. To prove to himself or your caseworker that he's a good parent because deep down he knows he isn't. To drive a wedge between you and your carers in exactly the way it appears to have. Or maybe because he cares about you genuinely and thinks that getting you an extravagant gift will somehow make up for you being in care since you were a young grammar schooler. Honestly, it could be a mixture of the above. Regardless, though, he should have discussed such a gift with your caseworker and carers to make sure it was okay. My partner and I have dated for a few years and lived together for 2. When I first met his mom, I was very nervous and wanted her to like me. I learned some customs that show respect and did them. I cooked meals from scratch for her that she loved. Holidays were hosted in our home and I would cook for days and serve the whole family, making sure every detail was perfect. The holidays were lovely. I never had times like that with my own family and was grateful to the point of tearing up many times, not in front of my partner's family. My partner and I have a business that takes up much of our time, and I haven't seen his mother much lately, so I planned a day to pick her up, take her to a local coffee shop she enjoys, and to lunch. As soon as she saw me, she immediately commented that I'd lost weight and complimented me multiple times. Then she asked to take selfies with me so she could post them on Facebook because I looked so pretty. I've had issues with eating disorders in the past, so the comments did make me feel weird, but I knew she was trying to compliment me, so I didn't say anything. We went to lunch and she wanted to take more selfies and complimented my looks again. She said, "You were okay before, but too overweight." I don't know why this hurt me, but it did. I blinked back tears and the food came. I couldn't eat it and found myself pushing food around and only taking some bites of dry salad. My partner and mom ate, either not noticing that I wasn't really eating or not commenting on it. I didn't want to cause a scene because, again, I knew she was trying to say something nice, but she was very blunt. She's not aware that I used to starve myself. She probably wouldn't have said it if she did. After lunch, she needed to go to the restroom, so I helped her. She's in her 80s and uses a cane but needs to be steadied. While she was washing her hands, she told me, "You know, I never liked you, but you're okay now." That did it. I couldn't hide the hurt anymore. I teared up and stammered awkwardly that her son would be right back to help her walk to the table. I went to the table and quietly told my partner I would take an Uber home. I was upset about his mom's words, but I would see him at home. His mom tried to call me, but I decided not to answer. I guess the reason I'm feeling so upset is that I'm feeling like I'm only worth something if I'm thinner. I also thought she always liked me. She acted like she did. Now it all feels fake. I don't want to host Thanksgiving anymore. Why should I kill myself cooking for days for someone who only really liked me when I lost a few pounds? My partner thinks I'm overreacting and I misunderstood her. He said it's normal for mothers-in-law to not like daughters-in-law at first because we take away their sons. I didn't take him away. He's the one who hasn't tried to spend much time with her. Every time we've seen her, it's because I organised it. But she's old, she's a blunt Asian mom, and she doesn't know I had eating issues. So, am I the idiot for wanting to cancel Thanksgiving? Should I just forgive her and suck it up so the family has a nice Thanksgiving together? Am I being a huge baby? Not the idiot. That's just downright insulting. I don't see what good would come from those words. You have a partner problem. Being older or Asian is no excuse to be a witch, and he needs to be on your side, not mummy dearests. As for Thanksgiving, you should not host it if you don't want to. I do think you should give it till the end of this weekend to think about. However, I do think this woman will benefit from having some consequences for the stupid crap that comes out of her mouth. I'd also make it clear to your partner that you expect their full support. Moving forward, I would put all of Mom's stuff on him to maintain. If she messages you, ask him if she messaged him and tell him he needs to call her regarding this. Understandably, you're hurt. Your feelings are valid. She was cruel. Whatever her background, whatever her culture, that was rude as crap and not kind. But you're still in meek mode. She lied to you this whole time, pretending to like you, and then based your value on your looks. Stand up straight and tell yourself this is not okay. And pass that message along to your partner too. He needs to realize that excusing her behavior is a no-go, and he needs to have your back 100%. I, 53 female, am a single mother of 2 daughters, Claire, 26 female, and Ava, nearly adult female. They're currently both pregnant. Claire is nearly 7 months along and Ava is in the first months. Claire is married and her baby is planned. Ava's on the other end was a complete shock to all of us. She kept saying it was an honest mistake, but she seemed so overjoyed about the news that I was almost suspicious if she was telling the truth. Obviously it's too late now, so the only thing we can do is keep marching forward. I was severely disappointed, but she decided to keep her pregnancy, and I will support her choice. I'll look after the baby anytime I can, at least for the first several months, as long as she and her boyfriend finish school and get jobs. I work from home, so I know I can do it. This is so they can save some money by avoiding daycare costs. A little over a week ago, Claire visited me and brought up maternity photo shoots. She said she'd love one, but the professional ones cost a lot, and she wanted to save as much money for the baby as possible. She seemed truly disappointed, and I found myself offering to pay in full for her to have one. She offered to at least pay for part of it, but I insisted it would be an early birthday gift for my granddaughter and told her not to worry about it. It turns out that Ava overheard us and came to me later to ask for one as well. I offered to ask her sister if she could pose in a couple of shots at her shoot. Ava didn't like that idea. She said she wants a different background and style than her sister. Plus, she wanted to wait to do it until her pregnancy bump was more obvious. She wants a complete photo shoot of her own. I decided to be blunt and just tell her I wouldn't pay for her to have a professional photo shoot. I wouldn't even lend her part of the fee. She and her boyfriend will have to come up with the money on their own if they want a nice, fancy photo shoot. She seemed shocked and became angry at me. She yelled how it wasn't fair that Claire got a fully paid pro photo shoot when I wouldn't even partially help her pay for one. She insisted I was already favouring one grandchild over the other. She even began to cry. That is absolutely not true. Claire's photo shoot will be a few $100s, if not more, but it's the only cost I'm helping her with. She and her husband are covering all other baby expenses on their own. With Ava, it's a given I'll be the one paying for the majority of the baby stuff, crib, diapers, etc. Ava and her boyfriend will contribute as much as they can, but it won't be a lot. I love both my daughters, but don't want to pay a huge amount twice when I'm already helping Ava out so much. This photo shoot is the only gift and help Claire has let me give her throughout her pregnancy, so this is important to me. I'd be happy to help Ava find a pretty place and take pictures of her own, but she ignored me when I suggested that. Ava is still giving me the silent treatment. I told my sister about everything and she said she understood why Ava was so upset. To her, it seems totally unfair that I won't give this special gift to both my daughters, no matter what I'm already paying for. She pointed out how it's definitely possible for me to rework my budget to afford both photo shoots. It would be a bit tough, but totally doable. My sister says it looks like I'm only giving Claire a fully paid photo shoot as some sort of punishment for Ava since she got pregnant so young. Some of my friends agree with me, but the rest agree with what my sister said. I've just been so stressed over Ava's pregnancy, I think it might be clouding my judgment. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Tell her, I'm not helping raise your sister's child physically or financially the way I'm helping you, so that money is going to help her another way. This is me being fair. If she fights you, I highly recommend you sit with her and have her just make a list of what she's going to need for a baby and do some research herself to find the prices. Your kid's having a kid. It's time for her to grow up. Don't feel guilty, that choice was hers. This is the conversation that really needs to happen. Does she want a photo shoot or a crib for her baby? Daycare is expensive and that's putting it lightly. Since OP isn't paying for Claire's childcare, does that mean she shouldn't pay for Ava's? Ava really doesn't understand what's about to happen when this baby comes. To be blunt, it sounds like Ava intentionally got pregnant because Claire was upstaging her with the pregnancy. Mom, you will have your hands full negotiating the relationship with Ava. If you start work with a therapist now, you will have the tools you're going to need as your relationship with her becomes more complex. Good luck. So I, a teen female, used to sell snacks at school. Think chips, candy, soda, juices, gum, etc. because my school charges way too much for snacks from our vending machine. They cost $3 for chips, $4 for candy, and drinks for $3.75. And usually they're knockoff versions of name brand snacks. I knew people didn't like them, so I took the risk and sold snacks at school. My prices were lower than those of the school, and people liked me more because I had snacks they really liked. So the reason I'm here is that this freshman girl named Bethany reported me because I wouldn't give her free snacks. She came up to me and demanded snacks with a smug look. I refused, and what I assumed was her friends laughing at her, embarrassing her. In retaliation, she reported to me that I got a 2-week suspension for selling food at school. When my suspension was over, my usual customers came to buy snacks and I told them I wasn't selling snacks anymore because Bethany reported me. Word got around and now people are shunning her. Her friends keep sending me hateful DMs saying I ruined her life and now people won't talk to her. They even said I'm the reason Bethany's boyfriend left her and now she's depressed. I do kind of feel bad for her being shunned. Some of my friends say I'm not the idiot, but some say I am. So, am I the idiot? Not the idiot. You're telling the truth. The truth is hard sometimes. Everyone knows there are consequences when breaking school rules and when being crappy to your fellow students. I'm sorry you got suspended and that your business was halted. Continue to look for ways to improve your life. Don't give up. Bethany caused her own problems by snitching, so now she can enjoy her stitches. I used to do similar. For 2 years I sold cans of soda for $1 each. Before I got caught, I was up to 4 to 12 packs a day. I was even selling to some teachers and the principal. The vice principal found out and made a huge fuss about it to the school board and got soda and sugary snacks banned from school property. She wasn't well liked after that either. You're an entrepreneur. Find yourself a new legit business idea. Like, does your school have a rule against you selling and giving a free comforting snack or drink of their choice? Tell them, I'm not selling food, I'm selling therapy. Girl, $4 for candy and $3.75 for drinks is crazy. Your school is greedy. I'm a teen male and my stepsister Melanie is a young teen female. My dad and her mom, Laura, both in their late 40s, got married 4 years ago. Melanie flat out told me she disapproved of her mom remarrying and wanted nothing to do with the new husband or his kids. I deliberately don't talk to her because the dislike is mutual at this point. Melanie can't work with people at school either. She goes on a phone and won't talk to members of group projects. Laura complains whenever the school writes home saying that it's exaggerated or not true. But I believe it because Melanie's the exact same way with us at home. The trouble now is that Laura wanted Melanie to join a school leaders program that prioritizes honors and AP classes and other benefits. The program rejected Melanie, stating that she had good grades but was not a team player and therefore a bad fit for the program. Even though we're not even at the same school, Laura asked me to help encourage Melanie to come out of her shell with pep talks. Her logic was that Melanie doesn't seem to respect her or the school counsellor, and she's hoping I could get through to Melanie as someone who's her age and knows how it is like as a child of divorce. I said no, and that Melanie needed a therapist, not a step-sibling. Melanie's dad is a cop, I know they have good health insurance, and he should get something for her because she obviously isn't taking the divorce or new school well. Laura asked if I could still give Melanie pep talks, but I pointed out that Melanie and I don't like each other and Laura knows that. And does she expect Melanie to be like, I treat my own mom like she's nothing, but oh yes, I'll definitely listen to you, stepbrother, who I barely even acknowledge. Laura called me rude and claimed it takes everyone chipping in because therapy isn't an instant fix when you have trust issues. That may sound valid on its own, but it all just comes off as her trying to pass the problem off to someone else, considering she didn't get Melanie into actual therapy years ago. My dad said he can understand my logic for refusing, and I had valid points, but at the same time there was no need for sarcasm and I was rude. I'm sure I was rude, but this has honestly been going on for too long. It's clear Melanie isn't going to change without an actual therapist, and someone needs to tell Laura like it is. Am I the idiot? I said no and that Melanie needs a therapist, not a step-sibling. Are you sure you're only a teen? You sound like the only adult in this situation. Not the adult. Good for you for not getting sucked into family drama, and just in general, good for you. Because you're right. She should have been in therapy a long time ago. I don't blame her. Divorce and remarriage are so hard. Change, in general, is hard. However, she needs some professional help, as do all three of her parents. As a teen, sarcasm is a feature, not a bug. OP, you're a kid. Simple as that. Sorry, the grown-ups in your life are parentifying you in a relationship with a step-sibling who doesn't even want you in her space. You both deserve better. Wait for your stepmom to pass her responsibilities over to you. This classic case of a desperate parent grabbing at anything within arm's reach and saying, maybe this will work.